All right. We have a couple of first timers. Welcome. Um, for everyone who's coming in for the first time, right? Some of you might be wondering if this workshop is even the right fit for you, or if you're feeling intimidated about like making mangas on the spot today, right? Which is I get it. I totally get it. If you're feeling that way, then don't worry because this workshop is like beginner friendly, right? And we won't be requiring you to submit like fully rendered, fleshed out mangas, right? That's why for this session, it's really just like think of it as like a drawing exercise. Think of it as practice, right? And we're here to guide you through that and also provide a space for you to create with fellow aspiring mangakas and aspiring artists like yourself, right? So this is a safe space. So we're here to just make manga together, right? And yeah, welcome. And the fact that you guys are here during the weekend, right? You took the time out of your weekend to learn with other artists like you means that you're, I don't know, maybe you're thinking, I want to start making manga seriously, or I want to see if I can do this. I want to see if I can do this myself and I can actually manage to make manga myself, right? And consider that a big win, right? Congratulations to you for, I mean, being here, wanting to learn, and taking the time to actually practice, right? So just give yourselves a round of applause for being here and for joining us today, right? So you all deserve it. I think it's always a good thing to learn, right? It's always a good thing to learn, and it's always a good thing to, learn from other artists as well. So we're going to be doing that today because we have our manga coach with us to walk you through this entire session and also to give you her notes and her feedback after her experience like working with the senseis, the pro mangaka mentors in our program, right? So just drop some clapping emojis in chat. Congrats, you guys. Welcome, welcome. All right. Now for I do have a couple of questions for you guys, right? So I want you to raise your hand if you've been trying to make your own manga for years but don't have anything to show for it. And if you've spent months, maybe even years or decades trying to write your story, develop your characters, and perfect your storytelling, and yet you still don't have a single chapter finished. And if you've been trying to figure this all out by yourself, you don't even know what you're doing right, right? So this is something that most, if not all, of the people who join our workshops, most if not all of them have experienced this, right? And it's nothing to be shy about. It's nothing to be ashamed of. We've all, I think, if you're an aspiring artist, you've experienced this at some point in your journey, right? So we're just here to share. And as you can see from everyone on, we're seeing like a couple of hands in chat and on YouTube as well. Like everyone has gone through the same thing, so you're not alone, right? If you're this kind of aspiring mangaka who's ever struggled with any of this, then we have good news for you, right? Because right now you're in the right workshop because today we're going to be making manga together, right? It's very exciting. Are you guys excited to actually make manga together and also get insights from one of our coaches in our program, right? So if you guys are excited, just say, are you excited? Let me know. Just say, I'm excited in chat. I want to know, right? And also, to warm up the chat for our coach today. Make sure our coach feels your guys' excitement, right? Oh, Edson says, I've been looking forward to this all day. That's great. That's great. I'm happy to hear that, you guys. Um, Barrage, I hope I'm saying your name right, Barrage. I'm happy to see other people who want to be mangakas. Yes, I feel the same way as well. I'm really happy to see other people want to be mangakas as well. It's really great. It's really great to see people who aspire towards something, right? Because having aspirations, having dreams, having goals is always a good thing, So very excited for you guys. And a couple of reminders, right? This is a hands-on workshop, so please prepare your pen, paper, drawing tablet, and drawing software ready if you're drawing digitally. So if you don't have drawing software, you can always draw with a pen and paper. It's totally fine. So we'll get into the specifics of how you submit your work if you're just drawing traditionally. It's still fine. And also, please make sure you have your two-page manga drawing template ready. If you don't have it prepared, we'll send a link to that template in the Zoom chat one right before we start the actual like drawing session, right? So if for those of you who don't have it, we'll send it in a bit. But yeah, now you're in for something very special because the manga techniques we're about to teach you are the same techniques used by the pro mangakas in our program. So we're working with pro Japanese mangakas Nao Yazawa and Renesaya. Now, Nao Yazawa is actually the creator of Wedding Peach. It's a magical girl manga that got adapted into an anime back in the 90s. And since then, Yazawa Sensei has gone on to create other mangas. She's created multiple one-shots, gotten published in France as well. And she also teaches at a manga school in Tokyo. And we also have mangaka Renesaya Sensei, who has worked, I think, been in the manga industry for about 20 years now at this point, and she's also won contests, worked with publishers, published her own how to draw manga books, right? And she also teaches in a manga school in Tokyo, like Yazawa Sensei. And we also have other amazing mentors like pro webtoon artist Steph Pastrano. If you're wondering, are these um illustrations from Demon Slayer? No, they're Steph's illustrations. Mentor Steph's illustrations are really popular. I mean, he's pretty known for his really professionally rendered illustrations, right? So, and currently, aside from doing fan art, he's also working on his own doujinshis, also working on his own ongoing webtoon. And we also have pro manga editor Vivi, who has been an editor for over 10 years already in the Japanese industry. And she's worked with the editorial teams for titles like Record of Ragnarok and worked with manga publishers like Kadokawa. Like if you don't know Kadokawa, I think has published titles like Bungo Stray Dogs and Lucky Star. And Vivi's also worked with Comics, the publisher behind the Silent Manga Edition, one of the more popular manga contests online right now. So she's worked with Comics. And yeah, in the last 3 years, we've worked with over 400 beginner anime and manga artists. And I just want to talk about our students real quick, right? Just so you guys know like what we do in the program and how our students are faring in the program. So we have here like one of our students, Steven, and this is Steven's progress in just 3 months. Before Steven joined us, he'd never really drawn manga before. Like he knew how to draw a bit, but he never really developed his skills enough to actually create like a comic or like a fully fleshed out manga, right? So we started him off with yonkomas, and yonkomas are 4 panel mangas, so very short, like snapshots type mangas. And after like practicing with that, he moved on to longer one shots. And now he's already working on his first one shot. He's already improved his basics so much. And he's really experimenting with his paneling and his storytelling. So it's been really great to see Steven's progress. And we also have another student, Hector. Now, Hector um, is one of the students who already knew how to draw when he joined us. But again, like um, Steven, he'd never made manga before. So this is Hector's progress in just 3 months. The spread here on the left is when he was just starting to like experiment with paneling. He was trying out like how to figure out his paneling, how to improve his paneling because he had this issue where, okay, he would have too many panels in a single page, and it would make the page look so cluttered, right, and difficult to read. And since then, he's trying to get out of that habit. He's gotten out of that habit, I would say, very successfully because he's in just 3 months, he's improved so much. He's already completed multiple one shots, and he's also joined manga contests since joining us this year. So, yeah, great progress from Hector. And we also have one of our other students, Courtney, and this is Courtney's progress in a single year. Right. So Courtney joined us back in 2024 because she wanted to learn how to make manga, and she dabbled, she tried making a manga before, but never really got into it. One because like life and she got busy with work and all of that. And she's still, by the way, Courtney is still working full time as she's going through the program. So once she discovered the program and how it allowed her to practice making manga on the side, and not have to interfere with like her day job, she really massively improved. I mean, this is her progress in 1 year. Back then she didn't really draw background. She knew how to draw bodies. She knew how to draw fairly well, but she didn't really know how to tell effective stories, right? And since then, she's already completed her very first one shot. This spread here on the right, this is just a snippet of her very first like completed one shot, and it's amazing. This is after like multiple rounds of revisions and feedbacking with our mentors, right? So massive, massive improvement. And for those of you, like if you're, I don't know, if you're interested in joining the program and being students, like our students that I just talked about, then you get a chance to go to Japan. This is just an opportunity for the most committed and high-performing students in the program because next year we're going to be sending our top performing students on an all-expense paid trip to Japan to attend Comitia, which is a top indie manga convention in Tokyo, where you'll get to pitch your manga directly to Japanese publishers and editors, and you also get the chance to publish your manga in our official Learn to Draw manga anthology. So an anthology, this anthology is something that we've had in the works for a while now. So the manga anthology is basically a compilation of all of our students' works. So we're going to be releasing that definitely next year, that's for sure. So watch out for that. Now, we're here to take you to the next level and help you create a manga that you can be proud of. So stay until the end for the live critique and Q&A. We are going to be entertaining questions from chat after everything is said and done. So yeah, are you guys ready? Just type I'm ready in chat. We're gonna start the discussion. We're gonna start the lesson proper right after this. But before that, I want to make sure if you guys are still with me. Are you guys still with me? Are you guys ready? Are you guys settled in? Make sure that you guys have your water and everything. I want to make sure that you're focused right before we bring in our coach. All right. So let me know. Let me know. Ready. All right, everyone's ready. Seems like everyone on Zoom is ready. How about everyone on YouTube? Let me know. How about you guys on YouTube? Are you guys ready? You gotta be if we want to start. All right. So everyone is ready. Now, without further ado, let's meet your coach for today. All right. Hi, Coach Rafi.
Hi everyone. It's nice to see that everybody's so enthusiastic. Okay, let me just share my own screen. Okay, so hi everyone. Thank you for joining us today. It's such a pleasure to meet all of you and create manga. Okay, so if everybody is ready, okay, let me just introduce myself before we proceed. Okay, so hi everyone. I am Coach Rafi, one of the student success coaches at Learn to Draw Manga. So if you'll be joining us in the future, I'll be seeing you around as well. So a bit of a background about me is I came from a family of artists. So all of my family members, my dad, my sisters, all of them are in the art industry. And then also, since childhood, I have been drawing, and then I've dabbled in like traditional art, graphic design, UI, UX, and then digital illustrations. But I also have like a background in education. I used to be a teacher as well. So a really, really colorful background. But it's nice to meet you all, and I would love to like meet you guys as well once you guys are in the program. Okay? So for today's workshop, okay, let's get started. All right. So what is a two-page manga spread? Okay. So I'm sure you guys are avid manga readers, so you probably know, but let's discuss, okay, the parts. Okay, so as you know, manga is read from right to left, top to bottom, and your eyes tracks across the page, similar to an S-curve. Okay, and then pages come in sets of two called a spread. Okay. So when readers should be able to immediately know which panels is next in the sequence. So as we mentioned, we read from like an S curve. Okay. So um but what is the Kisho Tenketsu that is written here? Let's see. So parts of the spread also corresponds to the Kisho Tenketsu structure. Okay. So what is it? Okay, so the Kisho Tenketsu is a story structure that we use when we are creating manga. So let's analyze a two-page spread here from Yoge no Nayuta by Tatsuki Fujimoto. So first is Ki. So introduction. Set up the scene or introduce the characters. So it can be like, where is the story happening? Who are your main characters for the story? So you can introduce, you can do an introduction with that. And then, of course, we have the show, we have the development, okay, the build up, okay, or like what happens to the story next. It builds up upon the situation introduced in the key. Okay, and then we have the 10, which is the climax. Okay, it introduces a peak, twist, or an unexpected turn of event in your two-page spread. And lastly, of course, we have the Ketsu, our conclusion. It wraps up the story, often with a humorous or surprising ending. Okay, so that is the Kisho Tenketsu. So it is present in a two-page spread, usually. Okay, but it can also be present in like in one chapter or like a whole manga. Okay, so Kisho Tenketsu is really important when you are writing down your own stories. Okay, now let's take a look at how our student practice their skill in two-page spreads. So notice how they follow the Kisho Tenketsu flow that we explained earlier. So this one was made by our student Yuan. So if you notice like how he set up the scene, introduced the character, and then the development going forward. And then we have the twist over here, okay, of her wearing her glasses, and then it was concluded as well in just two spreads, okay, in a two-page spread. All right. Okay, so now that we've seen some very solid examples of a two-page spread, now it's your turn to create your own two-page manga. Okay, I hope everybody is ready. All right. Okay. So, a two-page manga challenge. I'm sure you guys are ready. Okay, I'm seeing some excited people in the chat. Okay, let's move forward. So in the activity, you're going to create a storyboard for a two-page manga based on the script in the next slides. You will have 30 minutes to finish this exercise. So that's the twist. We have 30 minutes to finish the exercise. But remember, you can always ask for an extension, maybe around 10 minutes if you are not yet done. And also for storyboards, it doesn't have to be inked. Okay, it doesn't have to be super polished. Um, it can be rough, but make sure that your characters can be distinguishable. We can distinguish different characters from your storyboards. Okay. All right. All right. Next one. So just to discuss the rules. So first off, the plot of the story has to end within 2 pages, must follow the Kisho Tenketsu structure, and then it also must be read from right to left. Okay, please remember the reading direction, all right? And then number 4, panels must follow the S flow. Okay. And fifth, inking and sound effects are optional, but if time permits it, feel free to add them to add more like exciting elements to your manga. And then sixth, submit them in a 2-page spread, meaning 2 pages in one image side by side. Okay, so that for the ease of us organizing it once we do give them a critique. Okay, and also please don't forget to give space for your speech bubbles as well, all right? So that nothing's too tight. Okay, so here we will be having a script. Okay, some of our attendees here might have experienced this. Okay. Okay, if you're traditional, no worries. You can take a picture of like the 2 pages together and then send them in chat. Okay, so for today's activity, we will be using a script. Okay, so here is the script. Give them a read. I'll be setting up the timer. Okay, you don't have to be so faithful to the script. You can add like your own elements to it, but we still have the same concept. All right. So I hope everybody is ready. Okay, and I'll set up the 30-minute timer. Okay. And
All right. So for people in Zoom, we just sent the two-page template that you can use. If you have, if you're working on Clip Studio or any other drawing software, or if you've made manga before and you have your own manga spread template, then feel free to use that as well. This is for people who have had like some experience and some familiarity with like setting up two-page spreads on their softwares. But if not, then we've sent a template in the chat. And the reason why we sent a template is to make sure, because this is like typically how pro mangakas lay out their mangas, right? It's in a two-page spread with guidelines and margins, right? And within these margins are supposed to be your panels, and your panel should be exclusively within these margins just to make sure that the panels are all organized and in the right place, right? Because publishing wise, any illustrations or any panels that are drawn beyond these guidelines, they get cut out, right? So it's basically another way to practice how to polish your manga, how to organize your manga a bit, and also get you more familiar with the way like mangakas actually draw their mangas and plan out their mangas, right? So this is typically how they do it using this sort of template, right? So for people who are drawing traditionally, you don't have to like, I don't know, print the template if you can't print it. If you have like a sketch pad or like any sort of loose paper, you can try to follow that template as best as you can, but it doesn't have to be a one-to-one copy. You don't have to worry about that. This is still practice after all, right? So just think of it as like reference, okay? So, Coach Rafi, how do you feel about today's script for this session? I mean, personally, seeing this is a script that other students in the program have already created mangas for, right? And look,
mhm,
the two examples you shared are only just a couple of them, but I saw plenty of other like two-page mangas from other students that really like experimented with the way they planned out the panels for each of the story beats, which was very interesting to see. It was very interesting for me to see like different takes on this
mhm.
script, and I'm looking forward to seeing like everyone's takes as well. But how about you? What do you think about this?
I think it's a fun prompt because, like, in a short story, it's hard to create something interesting, right? Or like something that lands a joke. So being able to have a script for today and being able to tell a story in just 2 pages, I feel like it's a fun exercise as well, to
Mm,
get people to being exposed to like how to write a script for just 2 pages. I feel like this
yeah,
is a good practice for them.
yeah, exactly. Someone asks, how do you join the Zoom? So we actually open signups for these types of workshops like weeks in advance. So if you want to know when the next session is going to be, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you get notified as soon as we announce the signups for these workshops, right? So you can sign up in time. All right. Jay Sims asks, hi, I have a great story, but I'm not good at drawing and I'm wanting to find an artist to help. What should I do? I think Coach Rafi. Coach Rafi is, I believe, in the freelancer artist community. So I think Coach Rafi would have more knowledge about this. But yeah, for Coach Rafi, for writers who are looking to perhaps work with other artists on their mangas, like where would they be best able to find such a person?
There are multiple platforms, but like depends on like what style you want to go for. So you'll have to score the internet
Yeah.
to find the best artist for your manga. But I can say we have in the program, we have a few students as well who are more of a writer than an artist. So they came in and they said they wanted to create their own manga, but um they just want to try and have them be able to visualize their own manga so they can explain it to if they do hire an artist for them so that they can explain it well or like maybe do thumbnails because I do know like some mangakas as well are not that good with drawing, but if you are a writer I think you still have a chance to create your own manga. I do know like Attack on Titan the mangaka for that was not that good with drawing, but he had a solid story, so it still gained traction, and now it's like one of the biggest animes and mangas out there. So
Mm,
don't lose hope. You'll find that artist for you. Okay.
yeah. Script. If I Coach Rafi, if you could like go back and show them one of the examples from our students. So this is the script, right, that you need to make a manga out of. And this is an example of what your output should look like. Um,
Hmm. So
where
go
were
ahead.
this? I know, I
Uh,
think the student examples were after
after,
our,
yeah,
yeah,
like here.
yeah. So this is an example from one of our students, Aki, based on the same script, right? So they basically just drew it out as a manga following the script. And we also have another one, next slide. We have another one from Courtney.
Courtney.
Yeah, using the same script but different layout. Yeah. And yeah, I think we can go back to the script. It's on the next slide. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, let me just change my screens. I'm going to Clip Studio Paint. Okay, can everybody see my screen? Okay. Okay, let me just move because like my drawing tablet's at the side. Okay. Okay, so this first submission was by Alvin. Okay, hi Alvin, are you here?
Yeah,
Are
feel
you
free to
here?
unmute. Alvin, you can
Yeah,
unmute yourself.
please. Okay. Um, is he on the chat?
Oh, Coach Rafi, the screen went blurry. Oh, all right, it's
Ah,
good
there
now.
we go.
Yeah. So
Uh,
Alvin, yes, your manga was chosen. So we want to talk to you real quick.
okay, how did it feel going through a manga in like or like making a manga 2 page manga in like 30 minutes? I think you went under. 30 minutes too.
Yeah. So feel free
Okay.
to unmute, right?
Mm,
If you want to
don't
share.
be shy. Okay, we're just gonna ask some questions. No. Okay, okay. Okay, so you're so adamant with no. Okay, so I guess we can just go ahead and do the critique. Okay, because I found like an interesting panel here and it caught my attention when I was looking at it. Oh, interesting panel and like interesting twist as well. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so for Alvin, um, protein now, I'm gonna really, okay. For the first panel, you have the chick already. He's talking to a chick, if I am correct. Okay, so protein now I'm gonna. Okay, I cannot really see the text that well. That is indeed sleep. Okay, so I guess with that, um, first off, with the Kisho Tenketsu structure, I would like you to set the scene first, like where is the scene happening? Like maybe we have the characters introduced, right? But I would like to get a shot of like the maybe the kitchen where they are in the scene. Okay, while they are there. Okay, because right now it's just a zoom in of like the two characters that we have. Okay. Okay, wait, let me open the chat so that I can see. Know it or do I draw it or no? I write down a note. Protein. Okay. No need to do it. No, no need, no need. Okay, okay. So that's just my initial comment is to set the scene as well when you are creating manga. Okay, because like in the first page, like what's the context? What is happening? Where are we? Okay, so like with the dialogue as well, it's not telling me much either. So I would like to have a bit more context, okay, with what is happening. Okay, why is he conversing with like the chick or like talking about protein? Okay, okay, shut is need indeed sleep. Okay, so with the organization of the panels here, okay, so I like how you kept the vertical gutters tight. Okay, but okay, so there here around here it gets a bit messy. Okay, so I would like to align like the first panel along with like these two okay panels here. And also, usually when we have slanted paneling, it's usually for action scenes. Okay, so that's when we usually use it. But as of right now, I'm not seeing that much action in the scene that we have here. Okay. And then are they looking at each other here? Okay. Okay, it's like an eye shot for both of them. Okay, okay. Yeah, okay, okay. So are they battling it out? Is that it? Ah, okay, okay. So they're gonna battle it out. Okay, so now I want to ask the context for like why are they battling it out? Is it because the our main character here is planning to eat our chick for protein? Yes. Okay. Okay. Interesting. All right. So I guess with right now the paneling here, okay, it's a bit messy because like how will we read this? Is it like this and then like this? Okay. Because this paneling here kind of looks unnecessary. It doesn't add anything to the story. So remember when you guys are paneling, everything needs to have a purpose, okay? So you can't just add things, okay, just because or like just to because it looks right, just because it's aesthetic or something like that. It everything in your manga has to contribute to the story. So make sure that everything that you add in it is something that is necessary. Okay. Okay, so they're battling it out. Um, is he holding anything, our main character here? I'm not quite sure what it is. Yes, okay, so he is. So if this is a battle scene, um, is this a smaller panel here? Because I'm not quite sure. It is. Okay. So if that's the case, you can here since it's an action scene. Let's remove this one. So since it's an action scene, this is where we can use like okay, the slanted paneling style. Okay. And also like if the scene is like another or like it has a jump in it. Okay, you need to have like a wider gutter for the horizontal gutters. So usually the minimum is like 5 mm for horizontal gutters, but like to add a separation, I would would have it to have a wider gutter. And then for this one, okay, maybe they're facing off here. Maybe the chick is around here. Okay. And like him, uh, okay, in perspective as well. Okay, ready to attack. Okay, here. So just them facing it off, or like maybe you can be even more creative with like your paneling style and make the slice be like something like this. Okay, to there's something going on. There will be something that happens. Okay, and then next
Sorry,
one,
coach. Real quick,
yeah.
coach. Alvin asks horizontal gutter. I'm not sure he is familiar with what a
Ah,
horizontal or a vertical gutter is. So,
okay, sorry. So horizontal gutters is the gutters here, the space in between the panels. So horizontal as in the horizon. Okay, so this is the horizontal gutters. Okay, here, and then the gutters here that is going down that separates two panels beside each other. Okay, this is like called the vertical gutters. Okay, so you have to remember those terms as well when you're creating manga. Okay. Hopefully that helped, Alvin. Okay, next one. This one is the panel that caught my eye. Okay, because like suddenly with the bird having it's so ripped. Okay, that's really that's really that's a big twist. Okay, the bird suddenly transforms. He evolves. Is he like a Pokemon? Okay. So I would like have this expression for your characters to shine a bit more. Okay, him freaking out. Okay, so maybe wait, a bit higher. Okay, and then like the bird doesn't have to be super big, but still enough space for both of them to get highlighted. Okay, and then you can like add SFX to like what it's the sound effects for like how he transformed, maybe poof or something. Okay, and then maybe you can add clouds. So because he did just evolve or some sort. Okay, and then like him freaking out. Okay, good expressions there. And then my protein has become a muscle chick. Okay. Quick question. Who is this? Is this another character? Yeah. Okay. If you're gonna add another character, I feel like you should have um introduced him a bit or like maybe in the background so that it's not out of nowhere. We have a new character in here. Okay, or like maybe just not show him and just have our main character be the star of the show. Okay, and then like maybe the chicken is somewhere, or maybe the chicken is on top of his head or something. Okay, being extremely proud of his transformation to just conclude the story well without adding any more. new elements because here you should be able to conclude your story already. And then for speech bubbles that they are screaming, so it can be something like these spiky ones. Okay, so if they are screaming, this is like the usual go-to speech bubbles. Okay, okay. So I think that's it for Alvin. Ah, okay, okay. Oh, you're going already, Alvin. All right, all
I
right.
know Alvin is saying bye to Rach.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Right, all right. Thank you, Alvin, for showing us your work. Really interesting. You made your own twist for the plot. Okay. It's really funny. Okay, I feel like the joke lands well with like the buff bird here.
Mhm.
All right. Just a bit more context at the start is something that I would like to see.
Yeah.
All right.
I think also, um, it's also important to just not drop your readers into a scene like right
Mm-hmm.
away, right? So I think with the first panel, like Coach Rafi already pointed it out, was that there's no context of where they are. Basically,
Yeah.
we don't know where this entire manga is happening, right? So it would
Mm-hmm.
have been nice instead of drawing backgrounds for every single panel, right? Um, you can it would be enough to just draw like a first panel with a couple of like elements of maybe they're in a kitchen or
Mm-hmm.
maybe they're in a dining room, or maybe they're somewhere else, you know. Just the first panel alone, just drawing that sort of background, drawing that sort of setting of wherever they are is enough. That way, for your next panels, you don't have to keep drawing the same setting and the same background because you already set it up from the very
Yeah.
first panel, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's called the establishing shot.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So establishing shots are very important, especially at the beginning of a manga or at the start of a manga or when you're changing settings for every scene, right? It's important to always have that establishing shot just so the readers know that we've changed setting, we've changed location, and we're somewhere new, right? So that's very important. All right. So great,
Okay.
Alvin. Do you have any questions for Coach Ravi, Alvin? Or any reaction?
Hmm. He's thinking, he's thinking. Okay, okay. I guess while you are thinking, okay, you can just go ahead and type it in chat and then I can answer after. I want to say the same thing, so let's put okay, okay. Let's see, who's next? Okay, I'm not sure how to read their name. Is it Ian? EAN? They sent in their work a bit later. Mm, okay, hi Ian. Is it Ian? Am I correct? Okay, okay. So, hi, Ian. You can turn on your mic, by the way, if you want to explain like how
Okay,
you
okay.
came up with the story. Okay, or like the panels. All right.
So I pretty much made this from the prompt on itself. It's quite simple, like straight to the point plot using the template of the two panel manga. And
Mm-hmm.
um, I was actually preparing for this on like yesterday, so I was drawing stuff
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much um, I adapted the script on what it could show. It could um like adapted in a manga perspective on my style at least.
Okay, okay, in your style. Okay. And I like the characters very especially the girl. I can truly distinguish her from like the other character that we have. Okay. So I feel like with the thank you for that, Ian, and thank you for turning on your mic as well. Okay. With the first panel, I feel like this is good context without having a background, but it is established she is in the kitchen because she is cooking. So this is good. Okay. A quick question with like jumping into this panel, is this person
It
coming
it's
into the
supposed to
scene?
be a person, but Um, I actually drew on the template, so it was a error for me. That was drawn like on top of the ano, but the
Mhm.
the opacity of the template,
Ah, no, no,
the drawing is on the template on itself, the sketch.
No worries, no
So
worries. I'm just
that's an error.
asking if this is signaling that the
Yeah,
person is
it is a
standing.
person yawning, like since it's breakfast, like he just woke up.
Okay, okay. And then for the next one, is he staring at her?
Yes.
Ah, okay, okay. Because right now these shots kind of seem static or like because all of them are like in the eye level point of view. So you might want to explore a bit more with perspective. Okay. So that's what I can say. Um, so that the panels or like the scenes seem a bit more interesting. And also like with this one, okay, this is a good setup. He came in, he yawned. Okay, maybe exaggerate like the pose more. Maybe he has his hand over like the mouth even wider. Okay, so that we can see he is yawning. And then for the next scene, okay, we can keep it like this, but maybe we can have him, okay, like to how to establish it like he is staring at her because right now it doesn't look that much that he is looking at her. So I say maybe a play on perspective, we can do that. Or like maybe if this is like maybe a slice of like kind of joke, we can put in an arrow. He is looking at the food and like maybe his tummy is grumbling. Okay, so maybe we can do that. So the tummy is grumbling, something like that. Or like maybe a manpu. So if you guys don't know what a manpu is, so manpu is like symbols to communicate quick expressions. I'm quite sure you know this when you guys are so familiar with anime and manga. So this is the most common one. Sweat stains, also manpu. So anything that uh communicates good emotions in like a quick way and just a glance. Okay. So we can do that. And you can also add SFX, okay, or sound effects. Yo, you making breakfast make me want to. Okay. I'm sure you just weren't able to add in like the speech bubbles. Ah, there we go. So I hope you guys were able to learn what a manpu is. Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. And then okay, here we have okay. Good setup with the scene. I feel like this one is okay with like a static shot because her eyes move and like she seems like a deadpan character, very serious character. So I feel like that's good. Okay, sure. There we go. And then okay, for this one maybe exaggerate the hands going here because like when you break eggs, it's not that close to each other. I mean, as a person who cooks too. Okay. It would be far apart more. Well, not that super far apart. Okay. Oh, wait. Where is my lasso tool? Okay, let me just put this here. And like the egg would break like this, right? In the middle. So, 'cause right now it's set up as like something like this. So, just correcting the direction of the egg and then maybe adding the details of like the egg falling. Okay. And then with here, um oh wait. Maybe here would probably be something that fell. Okay. Maybe thud, okay, to signal, oh, what happened? It's that's not the sound of an egg. Okay, it adds more anticipation for the next scene. Okay, okay. And then for this one, I am questioning why she is looking at the eggshell. So did the eggshell have something in it? or you just didn't know like what expression to put for our main protagonist here. Okay, maybe they can have like both of them looking here. Okay, so her with like a deadpan expression, but also shocked. Okay, instead of looking at the eggshell, because the eggshell has nothing to do with the scene, so that's what I can say. And then okay, this one is good. Okay, and then for this one, I would say to just add maybe a ray of something, okay, to highlight our character here or like our chick in the scene. Okay, that's what I would do. And then for uh mm, okay, I would probably do maybe a tada or something, and then Diha would probably here with our characters in this scene. Okay, I feel like paneling wise, it's all good. Just a bit more play on like perspective or like varying shots. 'Cause all of them are like in the eye level point of view. Okay, okay. I feel like this is generally good. It lands the joke well. The scene, no background, but it was set up well because we can see that she is cooking. So I feel like this is a good take, Ian. It's just this scene here. Okay. I would want you to clarify where she should be looking. Okay. So maybe add an O. Okay. So I think that's it for Ian. Thank you so much for explaining your work. I hope you had like a good experience with like creating this manga. All right, all right. Anything that you need to ask or want to say, Ian?
No?
No. Okay, all
Okay.
right.
Got it. Also, I
Good.
wanted to I wanted to touch on like before Coach Rafi like moves on to the next, right? I think the note about adding a thud sound
Mm-hmm,
effect was good, honestly, because like it's kind of a type of foreshadowing, right?
mm-hmm.
You typically wouldn't hear a thud sound effect when you crack open an egg, right? You would hear, let's say, like a splash or something, because
Yeah.
that's, or a plunk or whatever, not a thud. So I think the thud is a good way to like foreshadow and make people want to move to the next page, right? Because I mean, if people are catch that extra detail where it's a thud, not a typical like sound an egg would make, then that would make them want to go to the next panel and potentially like turn the page, right? So I think having techniques like this can really help elevate the visual storytelling of your manga as well. And I think adding more dynamic scenes,
Yes.
right? Having more diverse like camera angles, more different framing, different composition, right? And not just like bust shots and close-up shots, right? I think either I'm not sure, Ian, either you didn't have enough time or maybe you don't have a lot of experience like drawing different kinds of angles or different kinds of shots, let us know. But in case whatever the case, it's important to like practice, right? So if you want to draw long shots, right? I think it would have been good for your in one of your first couple of panels here in the first page to have like a long shot of like where the characters are. Literally just a lot like these three panels, right? You have a panel of a character like cooking, it seems, then two panels of the second character coming in and just looking at the first character, right? This could have been just one panel. One long shot of both characters on screen on the panel and the guy character just walking in, right? Yawning as he's walking in. That could have been like just one panel. And that would have been a good establishing shot. So, yeah, I think with things like this, it's important. less is more. Less is more is a very important principle that our mangakas always teach our students. If you can tell, like, let's say you have four panels, right? Depicting one scene. If you can cut it down to like just two panels or one panel and still tell the same story and it's just as effective, then go for less panels for sure, right? Because you need to be efficient with your storytelling and how much space you dedicate to your scenes, right? And having too many panels in a single page unnecessarily is not a good habit to have if you want to like make manga. So always focus on, okay, how can I make this even more efficient? How can I make this better? And maybe how can I um turn three panels into one and still tell the same story, right? So in this case, I think you would have benefited with simplifying just your first couple of panels and just, yeah, into an establishing shot. All right. So I think we can move on to the next submission, Coach Rafi.
Okay.
Marcus, we're only going to be checking three, so this is going to be our last submission for the day, unfortunately. And it's going to be who?
It's me. Hi, May. Are you still okay? I need to zoom in a bit for the dialogue. Okay. Hi, May. You can turn on your mic too, by the way. So that you can just uh tell us how was it creating your two-page manga in 30 minutes?
Hello.
Hello.
Uh, this time around it was much easier actually. The
Mm-hmm.
first the first time I did this, it was definitely harder, but now because of the pattern that Kisho think it's a pattern, it's much easier this time.
Mm-hmm. All right, all right. Really nice work here in like the first few panels. Okay, you were able to set up the scene quite nicely. I guess the only thing is like it's too small. Okay, so I really have to zoom in to read the dialogue. So it's small, but you were able to set it up. They are in the dining area kitchen slash kitchen. Okay, so maybe a bigger panel would benefit this one since like there's like three dialogue or like speech bubbles inside. So reading it might be a problem. Okay, so maybe a bigger panel would be good. And then here, I like this shot here. Okay. Um, hmm. Okay, maybe exchange these two shots.
Mm.
Okay, so establishing shots can be done in the first one to two panels. Okay, so I feel like this shot would be good to enter the scene. Okay, she's cooking and then somebody walks in. Oh, are
Oh,
you making breakfast? Okay, make one for me too. Okay. And
okay.
then I really like this shot here. Okay, she's really focusing. Maybe speed lines will be good to just like highlight the scene more. Okay. Or like to add in background. It's like okay, focus mode, something like that. So there are also like what can I say? Assets if you guys are working in Clip Studio Paint. So you don't have to manually draw all this. Okay, there's like assets that you can use to do this thing to just speed up your process. Okay, crack. Okay. Okay, I like that this is like an ambiguous shape. Okay, so we don't know what it is. And like I guess more speed lines going down. Okay. And then maybe quite similar to what we did for the other one, adding a sound effect, maybe just like that, the thud. Okay, will be good. This is okay, maybe to just exaggerate the scene. Okay, so So
Mm.
maybe I'll adding like that for the expression like, oh, what is this? Or something like this is okay. And then highlight. Okay, I saw you put in something like this. That would be a bit more weight to the line so that it's more noticeable. Would be good. What is it? Okay. And I like this shot. Okay. I like the play on perspective here, but I would probably have the head smaller in this perspective because like she is looking down. I'm sure you guys know like the Rarian um perspective work that the artists are doing right now. The one that you can see the chin. Okay, something like that. Okay, she's looking down. So something that angle of like the face would be good.
Mm.
Uh-huh. So what is it? Okay. Or maybe for this one. Okay, adding Monpool, something like that. And then there's a chip inside the egg. Um, okay, okay. Okay, I like the reward panel here. So if you guys don't know, a reward panel is after a series of panels that is like foreshadowing something is happening. So reward panel is like the bigger panel right after it. So I like that this one took up like a whole page and like showing just the character that was introduced earlier. Okay, here to just show in the shock factor. I like that. And then for this one, okay, just maybe highlight something for the word. Okay. And then of course since she is speaking, okay, probably the tail should be there. Okay, and then if she is expressing something. So if she's not shouting, you will not use this, but you can like be creative with the um speech bubbles here. So if she is shocked or something, maybe a more boxy kind of the speech bubble would be good. Okay. So more angles would probably benefit that. But I like how the spacing for these speech bubbles are good. Okay. So everything's inside, enough space for like all of the sides there. Very readable. It's just the first panel here. That's the only thing that I might want you guys to you might want to rework for
Mhm.
the sizing of the panel. I might want to interchange this too. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you guys are talking about the Fairin picture. Okay, May, do you have any questions so far?
I just want to ask about the speech bubble that you mentioned earlier about this. Is there like is this box thing specific for a specific kind of emotion?
I can say it can be used to like more intense speech, but not the shouting one. Okay, so I this is what I like, or maybe something that shocked you. Okay, so maybe it's something that what can I say? My words are not coming out, but yeah, something that
Mm.
that is a more intense emotion without you having to get to scream like the speech, because like for screaming speech is like this.
Mhm.
Okay, and then also if it's an internal monologue, we also have the sea urchin one.
Mhm.
Okay, so you guys have a lot of options. And then if the person who is speaking or not there, okay, maybe an inverted kind
Mhm.
of tail would be good. So
Okay.
there's a lot of options you can search up. I think there are also guides for like speech bubbles.
Yeah, you
Oh.
could check out our video on speech
There
bubbles
we
if you
go.
want to
There we
learn
go.
more. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, right, I think I just want to say that I think the opening shot is really good. It like
Mm-hmm.
it reminds me of like a shot from Food Wars or something.
Oh,
Yeah, for some reason. I think I'm remembering the anime or if I'm
yeah.
remembering the
Mhm.
manga, I'm not sure, but it's reminding me of Food Wars a bit. But even if May didn't have the time to like really flesh out like all of the details of the characters. I mean, the character designs are pretty ambiguous, but
Mhm.
what's good is that we're still able to differentiate them even
Oh,
then, right?
yeah.
We can
Good
differentiate
call.
between both of the characters even though they're both bald. Right?
Mhm.
So I think that was really well done. And I
Thank
think the
you.
blocking of the scene is really good.
Mhm.
I mean, that's the reason why we're able to differentiate between the characters so well is because the blocking is so good. So in the establishing shot, it's established that the character cooking is in front of the camera, whereas the second character who's like talking to the person who's cooking is behind them, right? So blocking is where the characters are situated in a scene, right? So we know this entire time that the person right in front of the character is the person cooking. That's why we're able to differentiate them. And in the last shot, like you see the second character just behind looming over like the first character, and then we get a reverse shot of the very first character like looking over at the second character behind her, right? So I think the blocking there was really well done and the way she set up the panels wherein like the last panel for her first page like ends on sort of a cliffhanger and it makes people want to move on to like the next page and like turn the page per se ganon but this is like a spread but yeah for a spread it's always important to make sure that you set up your panels in a way that makes readers want to go to the next panel and to the next page right
Yeah.
and yeah that's a really it's I forget what the technique name is for it, but we call these panels, I think Coach Rafi mentioned it earlier, pull panel and reward panel, right?
Mhm.
So the
Yes.
pull panel is what is this sort of panel here, the last panel here on the first page for May's page. So this pull panel of the second character saying, "What is it?" that pulls readers to go to the next panel and read the next panel. And the next panel after that is sort of a reward panel, right? And it rewards people with the reveal of, okay, what have they been building up for the entire first page? And then they're rewarded with that reveal in the second page, right? So I feel like I'm not sure if this is your first time making manga, May, but if it is, then this is like really well executed, I feel.
Mhm. Definitely. Big claps for all of you guys. Ah, amazing.
It's
All
not
right.
really my first time making manga, but I really love learning new things from this workshop. I really enjoy it very much because I tried making this scene like more dramatic, but as Coach Rafi suggested, I still missed a lot of things to make it more dramatic, and that's why I am really, really glad to be here.
Oh, thank you for being here as well.
Really,
Okay,
thank you.
yeah, and I hope to see you more.
Yes, I will be.
Okay.
I'll always be here.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, everyone, to those who participated and sent in their works. Okay, to those who did not get selected, don't worry if you guys attend more, maybe. Okay, in the next sessions. But this was a fun draw, everyone. Okay. I think that's it for me. Okay, wait. Um, Let me go back to my slides. Okay, also big claps to everyone. Okay, you guys were able to do a two-page spread in just 30 minutes. Okay, that's a big win for all of you. Okay, let's go back to our slides. And there we go. So for today's session, anybody who wants to share their takeaways, maybe in chat, maybe they want to share with us. Okay, and to those in YouTube, okay, maybe you can write your answers in the comments. or if you are watching from the replay, okay, please um share your takeaways with us as well. Okay, anybody who wants to share their takeaways? I have no other choice. Okay, you're talking about time zones. First time I was pressing this bad. Okay, okay. You guys will get used to it. Timing yourselves while creating something is a good practice as well. Okay, you kept me good company. Oh, I'm glad we're good company for you guys. Thank you as well for joining us today. Okay, you guys were a blast to be with. You guys were stressing. Okay, okay. I hope in the next sessions, if you guys will be there, it will be a bit more easier. Okay, I guys can. Oh, okay, so everybody's asking to be friends in chat. So if you guys would want to share with your friends here your socials, go ahead. I'm good at drawing in general, but not really at planning things so fast. Usually spend at least one. True, true. I also experience bad planning because I'm not used to it. But if you train yourselves to work at the time limit, uh you'll get used to it soon enough. Okay. Before I did gesture drawings with like a 5 minute timer. And then once I got used to it, I went down from 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and then 1 minute. So it's just a matter of getting used to. Okay. And then for Destiny, my takeaways, the only one getting the way of making your manga is you. If you can work on a 2-page workshop, what's stopping you from starting? Yes. Okay. Definitely a good takeaway. Yeah, the greatest enemy that we have is definitely ourselves. That's what I can say. Okay. So, well, there's no harm in like taking a break as well, everyone. So if you feel like you're on the edge of a burnout, taking a break is good. But also, what's stopping you from starting? Okay, so ask that to yourselves. Okay, for 825, there's no right or wrong way to interpret a scene, but there are always ways to improve the execution. Yes, definitely. So as artists, we constantly need feedback, okay? Because if it's just us looking at our work, we might say it's either you will praise yourself a lot, oh, this is so good, or like maybe oh, I'm so bad. But if you get feedback from like people around you or like maybe a feedback from a professional, that's also good for you as well because you get to see the perspective of a reader. Okay, so you know what to improve in it. So thank you for taking time for teaching us. Yes, of course, anytime, Edson. Okay, you guys are always welcome. Well, at least a manga was made today. Yes, big win for you guys, definitely. Okay, and it's just 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes. Okay. So thank you, everyone. And I think that's it for me. Okay, so I'll be giving the mic back to Candice. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. And okay,
Yeah, thank you so much, Coach Rafi. And I'm so glad to see that um, everyone's takeaways after making their two-page mangas, right? For some of you, I know it's some of your guys' like first time joining our workshops, but for some of you, it perhaps might have been like your very first time making a manga, right? Who knows? If it is, like let me know in the chat so I can congratulate you. I mean, if this is your very first time making a manga and it's with us and it's at this workshop, I would love to know, right? So if it is, congratulations, and also congratulations to everyone else who made their mangas, who got critiqued or didn't get critiqued. You guys still did a swell job. You managed to do um, some work today. You made progress. You practiced with us and with other artists like you. And it's always nice to again, like I said earlier, it's always nice to have that time to just put in some practice whenever you can, right? And I'm glad that you decided to do that with us today. All right. So now that you guys know how to make a two-page manga, we want to ask you, are you ready to take action and finally bring your manga to life? Are you goal-driven and ready to commit to making your manga dreams a reality? And are you a determined mangaka who wants to finally publish their first manga through self-publishing, joining manga contests, and pitching to publishers? If this is you, just type yes in the chat. I mean, do you want to move on beyond this workshop and perhaps make a more dedicated effort to creating manga and focus more on really developing your skills with the right support and with the right mentorship, right? If this is you, then just type yes in chat. And I'm already seeing a couple of yeses. So for those of you who said yes, if you answered yes to any of these questions, then I do invite you to apply to our online one-shot manga drawing program, because in our program, you'll get the opportunity to learn directly from pro Japanese mangaka mentors and a pro manga editor, and also get to learn in a community of aspiring mangakas like yourself. So, just like our students, you'll learn everything from drawing basics to crafting a full one-shot manga, right? Finishing a full one-shot manga, even, and perhaps participating in manga contests as well. A lot of our students participate in manga contests. They've been preparing like multiple one-shots already to participate in manga contests, which is always nice to see. I think you'll also, if you're wondering about the community as well, the community in Learn to Draw Manga is really good, is really tight knit, because we're like we're I think I wouldn't say we're a small group of people, but we're like a decently sized group of people, but everyone knows each other and everyone gets along for, all right? So if you're worried about working, like interacting with strangers or like learning with strangers, then don't worry, because if you all already have something in common. You all love manga and you all want to make manga, right? So, speaking of our students, here are some of our students that I just want to share with you. Okay, some more students that I just want to talk about, right? So we have our student here, Charisse, who went from just making fan art and not knowing how to make manga at the start of this year to making multiple one-shots already, right? She's made so much progress, made multiple one-shots in just a span of 2 months. And we also have our student Takari, who joined us last year, and in just a year she's improved so much. Her paneling, her scenes, they've improved so much. And this is what she had to say about her program. I looked over my previous SMA submission that I finished before joining this course, comparing pages with my recent manga. It's very clear that I learned a lot. And last year, I didn't know what screen tone is, how to do paneling, didn't know much about perspective and anatomy, and I struggled literally with everything. It was a pain. And this time, I already knew what I needed to do. I had a refined process, and it was much easier, especially with the help of our coaches. And we also have one more student, Eduardo, who did so much progress in just a matter of 5 months, right? Eduardo began working on his storyboard for his one shot back in June 2024, and just 5 months later, he already finished that one shot and published it on Manga Plus Creators, which is like a free manga publishing site. So if you want to check that out, you can look up Cobra the Kid on Manga Plus Creators. And this is what Eduardo had to say. I reached a new level of detail and characterization, learned more about backgrounds and how to be more creative again about doing things against a deadline. And the mentors always give way better feedback to my works than I would, and they genuinely want us to do a good job, right? So if you want to make your time making manga more meaningful, more productive, then our program is for you, because we're on a mission to help you publish your first manga with pro mangakas acting as your editors. And just to reintroduce you to some of our mangakas, if you're joining us late, we're working with pro Japanese mangakas Nao Yazawa and Ren Isaya. Both of them have been in the industry for decades. They've published their mangas, they've joined contests, they're working at manga schools in Tokyo, right? And we also have our other mentors, Steph Pastrano, who is a pro webtoon artist, and Vivi, who is a pro manga editor with over 10 years of experience, right? So Vivi has worked with publishers like Kadokawa and Comics, and also worked with the editorial teams for titles like Record of Ragnarok and Unsung Cinderella, right? And after getting to work with our mentors, after you join the program, the students who are the best performing students, the most committed students, they get a chance to go to Japan, because next year we're going to be sending again our top performing students on an all expense paid trip to Japan to attend Comitia, where you can pitch your manga to publishers there at Comitia. And as well, we have an upcoming manga anthology. It's basically a compilation of our students' mangas. If you join the program, you get a chance to join the anthology as well, because we'll be releasing it next year. So, yeah, this program is for you if you're committed to making your own published manga. You have a unique story you want to share with the world. You're done figuring this all out alone, and you're ready to learn from pro mangaka mentors, and you want to connect with fellow mangakas who seek consistency and empowerment, right? So if this sounds like you, then you're invited to apply and join our online one-shot manga drawing program to start making your manga today, right? So we're only accepting applicants who are 18 years old and above. So if you fit the bill, if you're of age, then go ahead and book a free manga consultation call with us today. The link is in the description. I'm going to send it over here real quick. But yeah, for those of you who have applied, make sure to let me know, or if you haven't applied, why now I will leave you guys with what we always say, what I always like to leave everyone with at the end of every session. I mean, I think Rafi touched on this earlier as well, that the only enemy standing in your way is you. You're your own ultimate enemy. Like, what's stopping you from making manga? You joined this 2-page session, right? You're here, you made time, and you made manga with us, right? And whether you finished or not, what's important is that you took the time out of your weekend to make manga with us. And that tells me, okay, this is something that you're interested in. This is something that you're passionate about, passionate enough to want to like dedicate time to it, you know? So the question now is, if you're willing to dedicate even more time to it and actually make a dedicated effort to learn even more and develop your skills even further. Because can you imagine, like, where will you be tomorrow if you start learning properly today, right? You start learning how to make manga properly today and actually focus on leveling up your skills and just lock in. What happens if you lock in today, right? For students who joined our program like months before, they locked in months before, and now they've already finished like multiple one-shots, joined contests, joined the silent manga edition, and joined the wordless manga competition as well. And they've just kept making mangas since then and haven't really stopped. So that could be you if you start today, right? So, because if not now, then when, right? So, what's holding you back? So, yeah, I challenge you to take that leap and take action as soon as you can. Don't wait. All right. So, thank you guys for coming. I'll see you at our next workshop, which is going to be in December now. Our next workshop is going to be in December, and we're going to be announcing that really, really soon. So make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you stay updated on our latest announcements and also on our latest videos. We actually just released a video last night about this really widely debated topic about whether or not foreigners can actually make manga, right? And if that's something that's you're curious about and that's been troubling you, perhaps, I do recommend that you guys check that out, right? So again, thank you guys so much for coming, and I'll see you at our next live stream in December. Bye, you guys.